Hello everyone, this is your unemployed chef. Today we'll be making some chicken penne marinara with some spinach and a little bit of quatro formaggio. That is quite a mouthful, but no pun intended. So what you need would be some spinach. You could use fresh spinach or frozen spinach like me, because I just like to use things that I already have in my house. If you're using fresh spinach, make sure to cook the spinach until it's wilted. If you're using frozen spinach like me, I'm going to first cook the spinach until much of the moisture cooks out first. Since it's already soggy, I don't have to really worry about it wilting. Some olive oil, about 4 to 5 tablespoons for your chicken. Right here I have about a pound of chicken thighs that have been cut up lengthwise. Some garlic, salt, pepper, about a pound of penne pasta, doesn't matter what brand. And I am really loving this sauce. This is a very delicious marinara sauce. I can't remember exactly where I bought this, but search this up online and this will change up your pasta game. Impress your date, impress whoever, or you could just impress yourself. So, to get started, we're going to heat up a large pan with about 4 to 5 tablespoons of olive oil, and I have this on a kind of like a high-ish medium heat. Next, you're going to heat up a large pot of water, enough water to cover your pasta, and this is kind of at a boil. So since my oil's hot, I'm going to start putting my chicken in, and you want to hear a nice sizzle. And I'm going to, of course, flavor my food. And the reason that I had my chicken in some paper towel was because you don't want to work with wet meat, especially when you're working with oil. I may have overcrowded this pan a little bit, but not really. And now I'm just going to season it. I think if I had a kingdom, I would be the garlic queen. And if there is any stock in garlic, I would definitely put my money in it. Some salt. And then some pepper. So it's not a very heavily seasoned chicken, since we are putting in a marinara sauce that is very flavorful on its own. So this is just enough. And then I'm just going to cook everything through until it gets some color, and of course until it's white all the way through. And I'm going to cook this for the next, I'll say 10 minutes, since it is a pound of thinly cut thighs. And I don't want my chicken to be medium rare. And no, you cannot cook your chicken like that. It may be a free country, but you don't want free salmonella. And I think I'm going to turn up the heat just a notch to a high-low heat. In the meantime, I'm going to cook my pasta. Just drop it in. And in case you don't remember, this is a cheese that I used in my, I believe, my chicken parmesan video. Just cook the pasta until it's done. And then we shall wait. Okay, so my chicken is done, and there's a little bit of color on my chicken. And I turn down my heat, and I'm going to allow my spinach to cook in the chicken fat. So I'm just going to drop my chicken into my pasta. And I'm going to use these delicious fatty bits in this pan to cook my spinach in. And I'm just going to put just a little bit more olive oil so things aren't too dry in this pan. I learned my lesson in the last episode. Okay, and while this is steaming, I'm going to get some of that extra moisture out by putting in some salt. And I guess I could put a little bit of black pepper. But since my chicken is seasoned and the sauce is seasoned, I don't want to go too hard. Now I'm just going to cook it until most of the water evaporates. So I'll give this 10 minutes. Or at most 10 minutes. Okay. So most of the moisture has cooked out of my spinach. You can tell because usually spinach tends to have, frozen spinach especially, has a lot of water in it, and if you pour it in the pan, you'll start to see a lot of water, I guess, pooling in and around the spinach. So if it stops happening, it would kind of look something like this. Of course, it will always be some kind of moisture, but this is kind of like what you want to see. So with that being said, I'm just going to dump my spinach into my pasta. This pot on a high-low heat, and I kept the lid on this pot so wow, sorry. As I was saying, if you have a pot on a low-high heat, you could probably, I guess you could melt your cheese this way, but since it's been on for a while, I'm going to keep the lid on everything and see if it melts that way. Don't worry, I have another jar of sauce. You can use any amount of sauce that you like. I think I'm going to use about half of this jar. Add the cheese. Just enough to top the pasta. Give it a healthy sprinkle. Sprinkle some cheese on top. And I'm going to let this melt. You know what? I'm going to stir in this cheese. And then I'm going to make a top layer. How about that? I'm going to make you cheese fiends happy. If you're lactose intolerant, Don't use cheese. I tried to make up a clever joke, but I couldn't. Final dosage. Sprinkle that on. I'll put the lid on and let this melt a little bit. And there you have it, folks. My chicken penne marinara pasta. I just topped this with my very own fresh parsley. And that is about it. So if you really love this video, if you found this tasty, smash that like, smash that subscribe. This is your unemployed chef, and always chase that yum.